Welcome back. I'm a 27-year-old woman, and I want to start by saying that I'm deeply in love with my boyfriend, who is 32. I want input about a mistake I made recently, and while I understand that I'm in the wrong, I believe it doesn't define who I am. I do not have anybody whom I can confide in due to the sensitive nature of this matter, which is why I'm turning to internet for some advice. We've been together for 6 years, and our relationship has always been incredibly healthy. We're both completely in love with each other, and there's not a hint of toxicity or jealousy in our relationship. My boyfriend is truly wonderful in every way, and I consider myself lucky to have him. We also share the same group of friends, which is why I have nobody I can confess to without running the risk of getting a bad reputation. Last month, one of his college friends visited the town and then came over to his place. I spend most of my days at his place, so we were thrown together a couple of times. And one night, it was just the two of us watching TV at 1 a.m. on a Friday night because everyone else was passed out in the basement after drinking. I'm not much of a drinker, and turned out neither was he. We got extremely horny and ended up sleeping together in the adjoining bedroom to where one of the gang was sleeping in. The excitement of being with someone other than my boyfriend gave me a rush that was missing from my life. The next morning, when I processed what happened, I was devastated by my actions and didn't know how to cope. I was freaking out, and I hurriedly went to the nearby pharmacy for a plan B because we had forgotten protection. I spent that week acting cold towards my boyfriend because I couldn't handle the guilt. And eventually, I forgave myself, and things went back to normal. I felt better after moving on and vowed not to repeat my mistake. However, when his friend visited again last week, we ended up sleeping together once more, despite my clear boundaries beforehand. The guilt was overwhelming, and I knew I had crossed a line that couldn't be undone. I truly felt I was going to lose it due to the guilt I felt. So I went to my boyfriend's place and broke down. He was concerned at first, then shocked, and then got real quiet after he heard what I had done. I couldn't bring myself to tell him the truth about the first time because he didn't deserve to be hurt like that. He's an amazing person, and I'm still deeply in love with him, but I couldn't understand why I did what I did. It was a wake-up call for me, and I realized that the temporary thrill wasn't worth sacrificing our relationship. He has since been ignoring all my calls and won't open the door. I just want him back, and I'm willing to sacrifice anything for him if he's willing to give us a chance. Now, I'm struggling to come to terms with the whole thing and would appreciate any advice or suggestions. I believe that any time you knowingly engage in actions that you know would upset your partner, despite their disapproval, it indicates a level of toxicity in the relationship. In a truly healthy relationship, you would have communicated your feelings about being attracted to the friend beforehand or immediately disclosed what happened afterward. Or better yet, not have slept with a friend of your amazing partner. He's got a good head on his shoulders in that he ghosted you the second he realized you're not worth his love. Just let him be OP. Story 2. I have been in a relationship for 3 years. While my BF was away backpacking, I met someone in a professional capacity, but we started talking personal things and clicked instantly. Things happened. I slept with him, and it was the best sex I ever had. And now I am emotionally hung up on this guy. My boyfriend and I have been battling sex-related issues. He used to complain about my lack of desire for sex and my lack of initiation for it, which made me think I just had a low libido. It also didn't help that I was a virgin when I started dating my boyfriend. His frustration with my lack of sex drove him to get angry or annoyed from time to time. After a point, I was willing to let my boyfriend satisfy his sexual desire by sleeping with other women because I didn't want him to remain dissatisfied. But he never wanted to exercise his freedom out of love for me. He wanted some time by himself, which is one of the reasons why he decided to go on a backpack trip. My inabilities to sexually satisfy him lead me to believe that I might not be the right woman for him. I was in constant fear of losing him because I wasn't satisfying him. In spite of the sexual shortcomings, my boyfriend and I share a great relationship and I love him very much. He has always been around for me to talk to, and when he went on a trip, I felt very lonely. I have never lived alone my whole life. It was unfortunate that this guy gave me the attention at the time, and I got really comfortable with him. I could instantly open up to him emotionally and physically. With this guy, I could just let go and enjoy the whole experience. Of course, such adventures come at a price. I met this guy a week later and expressed my feeling of attraction towards him. But his priorities are different, and he does not want me to nurture any romantic feelings for him. He told me that he is not relationship material, though he didn't say why. I suppose because he has a busy lifestyle. He did mention he prefers older women, and I am guessing that was just for sleeping around with. Meanwhile, my boyfriend found out about the incident, and we spoke about what happened. He thinks he drove me into the situation because of the certainty he couldn't provide about the future of the relationship because of the issues we were having. When he came back from the trip, he wanted to fix the issues in our relationship by giving less importance to sex and be more caring and loving and taking things slow. He has been very mature and understanding toward me and wants to help me in the relationship through this situation. We have evaluated the issues in the relationship, but I don't feel confident about working on the relationship issues right now because of my feelings for this guy. Even if I choose to ignore my feelings for this guy, I am afraid that if he ever contacted me or if I met him, my feelings will return and I don't want that to happen. I need a closure for my feelings for this guy, but I am not sure how to make that happen. This has been the best relationship for my boyfriend and I, and we love each other very much. I regret what I did and I know it was a big mistake. I wish I could undo what happened. I want everything to go back to the way it was. I really need to get over this guy before I can go further in my relationship. Your problems with your SO was low sex drive. Then as soon as he's out of the way, you sleep with someone else. It's unfortunate this guy gave you attention. Don't you have self-control? The problem isn't your sex drive, it's your relationship. You may love him, but you don't have the physical aspect of the relationship. As soon as the next guy you're physically attracted to rolls up, you're going to be all up on him, especially since you're only with your SO now because your fuck buddy turned you down and you can't live alone. I hope your SO reads your post and does what needs to be done, and you learn how to be more mature. Comments. There's nothing more infuriating than being with somebody who supposedly has a lower sex drive and ample opportunities with the person they're with, who then goes off and has sex with somebody else. Do yourselves both a favor and end it. There's nothing I can do to convince you to not drop everything to see this guy again in the unlikely chance he decides contact you after his pump and dump with you. But the least you can do is help your new ex out by letting him go and giving him a few pointers. Feelings for a person outside of the relationship is usually a good sign of severe problems within the relationship. If you're absolutely serious about wanting to move on with your partner, you have to address the problems you have with your relationship first. You need to look at the issues that caused you to do this in the first place. Were there any issues before he went away backpacking, specifically related to your feelings? What I mean is that you've told us a lot of problems that your boyfriend has with the relationship, sexual issues, etc., but haven't told us what your problem with the relationship was. What caused you to be attracted to and cheat with another person? Addressing this issue is the only way to address your attraction to someone outside your relationship.